This video describes how adding femoral access can improve your ability to cross a subclavian occlusion. At the original attempt at implantation, the physicians did an axillary vein venogram and stuck this vein right here. And they were able to come down, around, and then couldn't get a wire to go beyond this point. And so when that's the case, or when there's difficulty getting access from above, adding femoral access can improve your ability to get through the occlusion. So the first step is to get access and then use a long curved sheath that will provide support for your second catheter. So we've got our long sheath here, and then through that we're putting an angled braided catheter with a hydrophilic coating. So in this case it's the Merritt vertebral catheter, and we'll attach that to an injection system, and rather than poking a wire around, we'll manipulate this catheter as if it's a wire, but we'll also have the ability to inject some contrast to see where we're going. And by doing that, we can get a sense for where we are and where we're going. And so using this, we're able to get to here. And I originally thought maybe this was the end, but then you'll notice there's some contrast right there. So I repositioned the catheter and got all the way to here. So it looks like it should be really easy to get in, because here's the catheter. We've got all the way to here. But remember that when you do the axillary vein venogram, this shows up here. And actually, so this vein, which ends in the collaterals, is anterior. And so this is what that vein from the arm just ends up in this network of collaterals. But we fortunately know that there's access from below all the way to here. So then the goal is to get into this area with your needle. And so that shows how this looks. Here's the peripheral venogram where it dead ends, and this is the venogram by injecting contrast in the catheter from below. So the goal then is to hit this area so that we can then track down where this catheter has gone. And so we got a wire in, and then over the wire we put our Ka2 catheter, and again, this is hydrophilic and it's braided. And the idea here is that you can inject a little contrast to see where it is you want to go. And here's where you want to go, right down there. And so by injecting a little contrast, you see where you need to go, and we're able to get a wire down. And recently I've started using this V18 control wire. This is an 0.18-inch straight polymer tip wire, and the one I use it's very commonly available is a Boston Scientific V18 control wire, and you can see that there, and we slide that right down into the central circulation, and then we have access. And when you get access with an 0.18 wire, my recommendation is to go ahead and use a balloon that goes over the 0.18 wire, for example the Sterling balloon, because the Sterling balloon outside diameter profile is less than the larger balloon, and in this case I actually made the mistake of upsizing to an Amplatz wire here, and then I had a lot of difficulty getting the balloon that went over an 0.35 wire down and doing venoplasty. So I hope this is helpful. And again, the concept is to add femoral access for crossing occlusions if there's any difficulty coming from above. Usually it's easy, but if you know there's been trouble before, having femoral access available it can be very helpful.